Ciao and welcome to another Car Buzz video. This time we are driving the very Italian 2020 Fiat 500X, and I'm going to talk you over some of the things we really like about it and some of the things we wish Fiat could improve on. Now, the exterior of the 500X is a quirky looking thing. Italians know how to do good design, and I think the 500X is no exception. It looks a lot like the 500. They've taken a lot of the styling elements, but then pumped them up and made them bigger to make them work on a tiny crossover. I love the Arancio orange paint. Arancio just means orange in Italian, but it definitely adds an eye-catching element to the 500X. And if you want to use the 500X to haul a lot of things, you might want to look at a different vehicle because it only has just over 14 cubic feet of space back here, which, as you can see, is big enough for our camera equipment, but not much else. You can fold the seats down to open up about 40 cubic feet of space, which is comparable, but not great compared to a lot of other crossovers. The Italians know how to do leather properly, and the 500X is no exception. We have this really nice, thick, gorgeous brown leather. It feels very nice to the touch, like something a woman would have on her fancy purse. Although I will say it is just a little bit firm. I wish it was just a little bit softer on the seats. I'm not a huge fan of this tiny 7-inch touchscreen that you get on the 500X. It does come standard, but it is the only screen option available. You lose all of this real estate with a mute button and a screen off button. I just wish they would have made the screen a little bit larger like they do in other Fiat Chrysler vehicles. And as you can see, maybe it has this matte finish to it. So if it does get hit with sunlight, you're not going to be able to see anything on it at all. But luckily it does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, making it pretty simple to use. Now, the infotainment system might not be that great, but it is tied to a Beats audio system that does sound pretty good. Now, a lot of cars have panoramic roofs. That means a piece of glass that stretches from the front all the way to the back. Now, the 500X does things a little bit differently. It actually has two sunroofs, one in the front, one in the back, both with independent shades. So if you're sitting in the back and you don't want as much sun, you can pull the shade and it won't be covered over you. Now, the back one does not open, but this front one up here does. Now, I can go ahead and slide the roof open and I can have all of the sun and all of the wind and all of that. Or I could go ahead and slide the shade shut, so now I have the wind without all of the sun. That's a pretty cool feature from Fiat. Now, depending on what exterior color you pick, you're gonna have that same color mirrored here on the interior trim. Now, I think this looks very cool and very stylish, and the other cool feature that you get here is a second storage bin above the normal glove box. So the 500X has a couple of drive modes that you can play around with. We're in the standard drive mode right now, which gives you the engine and eco mode, the all-wheel drive and auto mode, and the steering and comfort mode. And if I move over here to the right, the drive mode screen is going to show me my fuel economy. Now, if I twist my little drive mode selector over to the right, I'm going to enter traction plus mode. Now, that's going to change the screens. Now I have a display showing me how much power is going to the front and the rear. And as you can see, the engine is now in performance mode, the all-wheel drive is in active mode, but the steering remains in comfort mode. Now I can switch back to auto and I can go over to the left one more detent to enter sport mode. Now I'm going to get some new screens. I'm going to get a turbo boost gauge showing me my turbo pressure, min and max. You can see I can move the needle there a little bit, and you can see my engine is in performance mode, my all-wheel drive is in active, but now my steering is in sport mode, and I can even have access to this handy G meter. I hope you aren't planning to have passengers back here for too long, because you don't have a lot of leg room, you don't have a lot of headroom, and this seat back is rock hard, so there are better people carriers than the 500X for sure. We hope you've enjoyed this video on the 2020 Fiat 500X. For more videos like it, be sure to subscribe to the Car Buzz YouTube channel and check us out on Facebook under Car Buzz. See you next time.